and here is my sweet cream or sweet corn casserole. 14 little circles out of this. Oh my gosh, that's 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. And here we are. I didn't think it was gonna pop up that easily. I gotta get to chopping those onions. And you know what I forgot on my plate? A piece of sausage. Putting this on top. And oh my gosh, these are delicious. Isn't that cute? And there, that's the finished one. I wish I had videotaped in there. Howdy everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be creating a Christmas bucket with a snowman. This idea was inspired by a picture I saw on Pinterest, so today I'm going to be giving you my version. So let me tell you what the supplies are going to be so we can get to creating. Alright, so my focal point of my arrangement is going to be this bucket here. I saw this bucket at Hobby Lobby and I've been eyeballing it for some time and I really wanted it, but I waited till it was on sale, and lucky me, they had it at half off and I decided to treat myself, so I've got myself this big tin. Now if you want to create an arrangement similar to what I'm going to be doing, you can start off with something smaller and you won't have to fill it up so much. Now this cost me, this was $35 originally, but I paid about $16-17 for it, and I'm really happy with it. It's a little bit scratched up, but I think it adds to the character of it. So that's what I'm going to need. I'm going to need a bucket, and I'm going to be adding a snowman to that. So I also found this at Hobby Lobby. You can get one from anywhere, or you want to build your own little snowman, you can do that. But this is the little snowman that I got. He was also half off, and I paid, let's see, it was $18. I paid $9 for him. Now, I don't normally pay a lot for my supplies, but being it's Christmas, my birthday gone by, I kind of decided to treat myself a little bit. Now, a lot of these items, a lot of the ideas that I have, you can use florals and greenery and ornaments and things like that from the Dollar Tree, so you can go ahead and use those items. They have a really great stuff. Dollar Tree has really been stepping it up with all their ornament quality, so I suggest that you go looking in there and look for some items as well. Okay, now I'm also going to need some fillers for my arrangement besides my focal points, and I found this little Christmas tree. This one I found it at the 99-cent store. Now I hadn't really been to the 99-cent store a lot, and I thought everything was 99 cents, but apparently it's not. So this was $1.99, and I wasn't going to argue with that because this is a pretty good deal for $1.99. And when I first grabbed it, I thought, oh, this would make a great swag. You know, just take this part off and make a great swag. But then when I saw the picture of the little snowman with the tree in a bucket, I said, here we go. Here's my little tree. So these little pine cones are just wired on. So I'm going to remove them, but I'm probably going to put them back on here. So that's a little tree that I'm going to use. They have one at the Dollar Tree, by the way. They have a little mini tree that you can use for this. And I've got some pine sprays here. I've got this one, and it's got some little berries and some pine cones on it. This was from Hobby Lobby. It was originally $6. I got it half off. I got it for $3. This one was more expensive, and it's left over from a wreath that I made because I got 3 Christmas stems, and I decided to save one, and I'm going to use it now. Here we go. It was originally $12, but I got it for $6. I thought it was beautiful, and again, I was treating myself, so it's okay to do that. And of course, I'm going to be using my ever faithful garland. These garlands are 9-foot garlands. This is from Hobby Lobby. It was $10, half off. I paid $5. Now you can get any garland from anywhere, or if you don't want to use garland and you just want to use more picks or, you know, something like this, you can certainly use that. I also have some poinsettias. I have a bush of poinsettias, and I don't have it on my desk, but I'll go ahead and grab that. I will tell you that I got it at Hobby Lobby. It was $10, but again, I only paid half, so it was $5. So for those of you who want to know where I grab my things, how much I paid for them, those are the prices, where I got them from. Otherwise, you can get your supplies from anywhere you want, pay whatever you want. Just be inspired to create. So let's get to creating. All right, in my rush to get to creating, I forgot to mention some items. I'm going to be using some ribbon to put a bow on my arrangement. I have this bow that I've already made. This one is from a video tutorial that I did creating handmade bows, and he was left over from that project, and I decided to save it because I knew that I was going to use it for something. I'm going to use it for this bucket, but I am going to take it apart because I want to incorporate this plaid ribbon into it, so I'll be doing a double bow. So you'll see me do that. Also, I need some styrofoam because this is a really deep bucket. And I'm going to be putting my snowman and my tree in there, and obviously I don't want them down here. I want them elevated, so I need something to fill this in. So I've got some styrofoam here, and I've got these styrofoam bits I think this is left over from a pack that I got at Hobby Lobby, but these were from the Dollar Tree, so they were only $1. This one is also from the Dollar Tree, a little disc. And this is just packing styrofoam. So whenever you order any items that come in the, you know, they come in FedEx or UPS or whoever delivers them, or even when you just purchase them out of the store, the boxes sometimes, especially delicate items, maybe TVs, whatever it might be, or even pots and pans, you might have some pieces of styrofoam in there. Save those pieces because you can use them for creating arrangements. So save them. Anyway, I think I said that. All right, you'll also need some tools. You'll need your hot glue gun with some glue sticks, scissors, wire cutters. I'm also going to be using a little craft knife that I set down somewhere and I don't see anymore, but I'll pull it out in a moment, and that's going to be used to cut my styrofoam with. Here it is. I got this at the Dollar Tree, just a regular, like a little steak knife, but it's real nice and sharp, and I love using it for this. Okay, so let's get to putting this together. Like I said, I want my snowman to be raised. I'm going to move some items out of the way, excuse me. Move this guy out of the way a little bit. I want my snowman to be raised in here, my little tree, and I need him to sit on something. So I'm going to use these bits, and I think I'm going to use all three, so that I can give this some height in here. And then I'm going to use this on top like that. And then I'm just going to have to like trim it, probably curve the edges to fit in here, so that it gives me a flat platform to put my snowman and my tree, and neither of which items are heavy, so I'm not too concerned about that. So the first thing I want to do is pop these open. Now, I like to prepare everything by cutting all my little bits and pieces of things. Where's my trash? Over here. Okay, by cutting off the bushes. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I'm going to put the styrofoam in there, but then we're going to cut away because I'm going to be cutting up all of these, and I told you I had a bush of poinsettia, so here we go. This is what I have, and I'm going to be trimming these off, separating them from the greenery, and that way I'll know what pieces I want to put together. So prep all your stuff, remove all the tags, remove stickers and everything before you get started. And sometimes when I'm creating, I decide that I'm not going to use an item, that I'm going to use it on something else, and it's already been cut. That's fine because it's prepared for the future project. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to put some hot glue right on this piece, press it down to the bottom of this metal container, and just like you saw me doing it out here, I'm going to do the same thing right inside of my bucket, just shaking off any dust and stuff that's in there. There was a whole bunch of little berries because I was storing all my florals and little berry stems in here. So I'm going to put the two thinner ones on the outer edge, and then that thicker one I'm going to put it in the middle. Now I have this extra disc because I didn't know if after putting the flat styrofoam on top of here, whether I needed any extra lift either to my snowman or to the little Christmas tree. So that's an optional piece of styrofoam, as well as the extra sheet, because I do have 2 sheets of this. All right, just that's what I'm doing. Get the other one in there, and this is basically preparing our containers. So if you want to do lots of little containers, because you're going to make several arrangements, maybe make them all the same, prepare them all by putting your styrofoam pieces into all of them. Okay, normally you want a big block of styrofoam to fit tightly into your containers. In this case, I don't need to. My irons are not heavy, and that's going to be good enough. Okay, now I'm going to measure this because I think I only need to trim just a tiny bit. As a matter of fact, I can probably just cut it off like this. Okay. I want to see how much I need to actually trim. Okay, so I've decided I need to trim about a ½ inch. So I'm going to use my scissors. I don't have my cutting mat on my table. Otherwise, I just go ahead and just do it on the table. But be careful because these are, they'll pop, they'll crack really easily. Okay, this will fit in there. And I want it to fit tight, and it does. Okay, let me pull it back out. Excuse all the noise. Now I'm going to put lots of hot glue on these little bits so that I can push this down onto them. And I want it to fit tight, so Get a glue stick ready here. Now, my container, I want to have it out all year long. So the items that I'm going to put in here, I'm going to try not to put too much hot glue when I put them in here, because I want to be able to pull them out. I don't care about the styrofoam. I can replace that. But I want to be able to remove my Christmas items, because then I can just either freshen it up with some more styrofoam and then just put regular greenery or maybe some twigs in here and get it on there. Okay, I'm working a little too fast here for my glue gun, so I need to give it a little break. Okay, here we go. I've got it on there, and it's nice and tight. The next thing I want to do is just pour some little bit of glue here on the little edges where it's actually touching the tin. Here we go, or metal, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to put some glue there. On this corner over here. And there. Okay. Now, the other part of prepping a container to create an arrangement would be to put some moss or some green, either green moss or Spanish moss, some sort of covering to obviously hide the styrofoam. I'm not going to use that. I am going to be using, and this is just something that I thought about because I had to decide, and I didn't recall that when I was getting all my supplies together. But I do want to cover my styrofoam. But I'm going to be using a filler, polyfill, like the kind that you use to stuff blankets or to stuff pillows and things like that, so I can have like a snowy effect on here. So that's what I'm going to use, and I'm probably going to be stuffing it either during or after I've put everything in there, so that I don't have to now insert things through the polyfill and then into the styrofoam. I just want to push it in there to cover things when I'm done doing this. So this is it. That's what I've done. I'm going to go ahead and pull off the tags of everything else, cut them up, and get some items ready, and we'll finish this up. All right, I've gone ahead and I've prepared all my items by cutting up my bushes and such, and I've left the stems at their longest point so that then I can decide where they're going to go and if I need to trim them. So always cut them at the longest point when you separate them from that one stick that keeps them all together. And I've done the same with all my little sprays and berries and such. Okay, I've got all my pine cones over here, and I've got a piece of garland also, and I've gone ahead and I've cut this, and what I've done is I just measured around on the inside of my bucket, the perimeter, and then I just cut it to fit just about that size, so you can see there. Okay, that's all you're going to do with that, and I'm going to fluff it up so make it look pretty. But first I want to put my little tree in there, and I could go ahead and just put him in there as is, but I'm going to take this little burlap piece off, and there's just a piece of wire, just like all the little pine cones and berries that were on it. Everything's just tied on with a piece of wire, so I'm going to remove that, and I'm also going to remove it off of this little cement piece that it was on. And the reason that I'm doing that is because this has some weight, and I don't want to weigh down this piece of styrofoam here and crack into it, because remember, there's only support here in the middle and then on this end over here. So there isn't any on any side, and I wouldn't want to, you know, push down too hard and then crack it or do something to it. And now I have a little stem here at the bottom of my tree that I can actually use to insert into the styrofoam. Now, if you don't want to hot glue anything, you could certainly just poke it right in and just leave it alone. And then you can pull anything out in case you want to reuse your bucket for a separate season. Now, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to put a little bit of glue, and I am going to be repurposing my bucket. I am going to remove everything, but I'm going to add just a little bit of glue just to make sure that things don't go falling off. And I'm going to insert this. Let's get this little, there's another little pine cone back here that I just noticed. Okay, there we go. Now push it in far enough so he doesn't topple over, which you just saw it happening. Okay, and that's why I wanted to use glue. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add some more glue back here so it actually sticks down. Careful not to crack the styrofoam. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to poof up my little tree so that I know how much space I have to work with. And he doesn't have to be poofed up to the back here because I'm actually going to put this in an area where there's going to be a wall behind it. So he doesn't need to be, in other words, this part back here, these stems don't have to be shooting this way. Now, if you want to see it from all sides, of course, poof it so that all your little branches are going in all the directions. But I don't have to do that because he's going to go up against a wall more than likely. I will sort of just a little bit on the sides, but I'm not going to worry too much about this little center area, just because when you see it from the sides, you want to see it poofy in this way too. So that's all I'm going to do, is shape him up. Now, if your tree is moving a lot, like mine is doing, you can get a little dowel stick, and insert it right behind him into the styrofoam, and then take the, little bits of pine and twist around it so it'll be tied down, which I think I'm going to do to make him be a little more sturdy, because I have 2 cats. One of them's getting older. He's not really into climbing into things anymore, but the little one, oh my gosh, he has got to sniff out everything. He's got to know, who are you? Where did you come from? Why are you here? Can I kill you? Those things that cats normally do. So that's what my cat likes to do. And he's not in here right now. I call him Ninja Kitty because sometimes I close the door to do my videos, and then I think I'm alone, and suddenly he pops out of nowhere. Even in the kitchen, I'm cooking or something. You probably, if you have a cat, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Them things, they just sneak up on you sometimes. Sometimes you're walking innocently through your house. They grab you and they bite you in the ankle. Okay, someone said that I ramble a lot. I do. But that's just me, okay? You can cut through all that. Okay. I can't stop it. That's me. All right. There we go. I think he's good like that. I'm going to go ahead and get that little stick and put it back here and make sure that he stays still. Okay? And then we're going to put a little snowman and continue decorating. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm taking the stick. And then just tying some of these stems for my tree. Making sure it's also hiding the stick. I don't care if you can see it from the back. I only want to make sure you don't see him. You can see the stick in there from the back, but you can't see it on this. Well, you can a little bit, but that's only if you're really trying. On the sides, the front, and so forth. If it bothers you, you know what? You can go, it's a wood dowel. It's a piece of wood dowel. You can paint it green and just have it match up. Or maybe you get yourself a little tree that's not so wobbly. How's that? Okay, so my little tree has been poofed up. He's been secured. Now he had some little berries and some little pine cones that were just basically wired on. And that's kind of what I'm going to do. And I'm just redoing it because they were kind of coming off. And I'll reposition this camera so you can see up higher. But all I did was put one of the little berry bits back up here on the top. And I'm going to do a little pine cone on there as well. Now yours comes decorated and they're not coming off, then don't take them off. Just, make sure they're on there nice and well. And there we go. Let me push them down here so you can see that. Little berry and pine cone. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and continue putting on these pine cones back on him and the little berries that I had removed. And then I will be back. All right, the next thing that I want to put in my bucket is my little snowman. And I could actually just, let me remove this little tag underneath him. There we go. I could just actually just stand him right in there and he'll be fine. And then I can just take him off at when the season's over. But I don't want him to get tumbled over. So, because of the reason that I told you, my little kitty cats. So I'm going to put him a little bit forward, but I want room right here for my garland. So I'm going to put him a little bit forward, but I'm going to put glue at the bottom of his little feet. Just a little bit. Get these little branches from the tree. Oh, look at him. He looks so cute. We can put him like that. It looks like he's putting a little pine cone on the tree. I like that. Let me put a little tiny dot of glue and put it on that pine cone. There we go. And now he looks like he's decorating the tree, sort of. Anyway, or maybe even pulling off. Okay, so the next thing I want to do to my garland, because it's all flat, I want to poof it up. And I want to keep one side flat. So I'm going to do it on the table so that all my pieces get spread out and upward. So that's all I'm doing. And I'll probably fast forward all of this as I poof my garland. Alright, so here we go. My little garland has been poofed up and looks pretty. So now I'm going to put it in the front here. Let's bring the bucket over. I'm going to tuck it in the front and then twist it around to the back. I'm just going to push it in there, like so. Now, at the back, I can get the two ends and grab two of the little branches and then just twist them together, just a little bit, right at the tips. And now I can fix my garland so some of it is kind of dripping over on the edge of the bucket and the rest of it is inside. There we go. Let me do the same over here. Little Christmas tree branches, bring them up to lay on top of the garland. Now, if you want to secure it, I've got some greenery pins. Here we go. Let me grab them. These are called U-pins or floral pins. I've shown these before in other arrangements that I've done. They're just these, well, U-pin shaped metal pins. And what you do is the wire of the garland, you put this around it and then basically like that. And then these bits would push into the styrofoam. So that's what I'm going to do. You can put a little bit of glue on the little tips so it stays in place. I don't really need to do that because this garland is holding on really well and the styrofoam is kind of deep in the bucket. So I don't really need to do that to this particular one. But if you feel you want to do that, you can certainly do that. And I'm just bringing these up and forward, making it nice and bushy. Okay, let me show you. See, they were kind of shooting upward. Now some are shooting down here. So it doesn't look like it's just been stuffed in there. So now you can see that it looks like a trim on the edge of the bucket. So now we're going to take our flowers and I want to add some poinsettias. I'm going to look for a nice long one like this one right here. And this is going to be my height. I think I'm going to put one back here behind him. This is going to be my highest flower, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. You don't have to put a lot of stuff in this arrangement. As you can see, he looks really cute already as it is. So I just want to put a few flowers. And let me look at it because I need to decide if I do like that. And I do. Okay, I think I'm going to put a couple more flowers. I'm going to trim this one from the greenery. Where are my wires? Floral wire cutters, I should say. And I'm going to be cutting the stem right above that leaf right there, at the point, so that I can now have a flat little bit here, and then that leaf can now be the top of this little stem, and I have a nice length here. These have all been bent like that. So all I'm doing is just bending them a little bit so they're not completely bent, but I don't want them straight up. So I'm leaving a little bit of a bent on the green bit of the stem there. And I want to put one coming out this side and I want to put one coming out of the other side. So here we go. Right there. And I'm going to take the the greenery, and right behind it over here, just to fill this space. Right there, that's all I did. I want a flower on the other side, so I'm going to do the same. I'm going to trim it at the very top edge of that green part, or greenery. And there's my flower. Gotta put more glue in there, always, always. Gotta give myself a little hot plate to put some glue bits in there. And then all I gotta do is dip my stems into it. Okay. Y'all see a really expensive one? I haven't even looked because when I'm not doing videos, I'm thinking about doing videos, and I forget all these other things that I could use, you know, to make it easier on myself. Okay, I think that's pretty. Look at that. 3 flowers. Yes, there could be one here, but I'm going to put a bow, so I don't need another flower. And I'm going to go ahead and save these flowers for some other arrangement. So now I'm going to want to put all these beautiful, beautiful stems. Look at that. All these twigs, and I kind of like the idea of this one shooting out back here. So that's where I'm going to put him. No thought about. Just going to do it. Just open up the branches of your garland and such. Sneak them in there. Look how pretty that looks right there on the edge. Okay. I will be panning the camera around on the arrangement once it's done, so then you'll see things in detail at the end of the video. Let me put one on this side. I don't want the snowman to hide it, so I'm not going to put anything else at the back. I'm now going to put all these fillers at the front. Put this under here. There we go. You can see that right there on the stem. I love it. Okay. I'm going to take this one with berries. Now I know that I'm going to want to put a bow on this side right here. So I'm going to balance off the bow with this pick that has berries and this greenery part, the pine. I can bend it down just a little bit. That's going to balance off a bow that I'm going to put over here. Okay. And the rest of these are just fillers, and I am putting glue on them because they're grabbing on to the greenery either on the tree or the garland. At this point, I'm not even sticking it into the styrofoam. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put some berries on this side as well. Just making sure that when I push it in, that it's not rubbing up against the little shoe of my little snowman, because I don't want, you know, in case I do want to use a snowman separately, just stand them on a shelf or something, you won't have a stain of glue on them. So just making sure that I don't do that. Okay. Basically, all you're going to do is just continue filling it up. I'm using all these bigger pieces already, so, and again, there's a bow over there, so I don't need to fill up too much right here, and I don't want to cover my snowman anyway, so I'm now directing things on this side. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, if you want to put your bow on there before you put any more things so that you know that your bow's not going to be hiding anything, we can do that. I still got lots of bits here that I want to put on him. So I'm just moving them over to the side so we can get our bow made. And as you see, I didn't use that second flat piece of styrofoam, and I didn't. Okay, something happened with my camera. Something may have been cut off, so let me start over. As you see, I didn't use these bits. I had these left over. I had these just in case I needed to elevate my snowman just a little bit more, but I didn't need them. Okay, so we've got our bow here. And I'm going to take this one apart, as I had said, because I'm going to do a double bow. By that I mean I'm going to take both ribbons and twist them into a bow at the same time. So I'm going to layer one over the other. And the one that I like on the top is this one with the little reindeer heads. And it's already been cut into a dovetail, so I'm going to do the same thing here. It's also kind of fishtail. I've always called it a snake tongue. And that just kind of stuck with me, even though I knew that there was other names. Or a little chevron. They also call it a chevron. Okay, so then that's it. Put them together, both facing right sides up. And I'm going to choose a length of tail. And of course, I don't want my tail too long because I don't want it, you know, dragging on the ground. So I'm going to do a short little tail to start with right here. And that's about 6 or 8 inches. Then I'm going to pinch it. I'm going to put the link to creating handmade bows, in the description box below so that you can go and see a little closer at what I'm doing. And I do hope to make another video so that I can show you more ways of creating bows and how to decorate them and what to use them for. So hopefully that'll be coming up before spring. Okay, so now I'm going to pinch it, make my loop, decide on the size that I want. And then on the other side, make another loop. Bring them up to make sure that they're both the same size. They are. Pinch it. And again. Why does it look like, well, this ribbon, both sides look like the right side. Am I doing this? Am I doing this? I am. My goodness. I'm very confused with myself. Just ignore all of that. Okay, pinch and make another loop. And one more. I'm going to make 3 loops of these double ribbons so that altogether I actually have 6 loops. So I'm going to make 3. And remember, it's double ribbon. And that's where I'm going to stop. Get a piece of wire. This is not the one I was using. This one right here. Doesn't matter. I'm using 22 gauge floral wire. And I do have some floral wire right here. I got this spool at Hobby Lobby. This one was, it has 150 feet. It's $4.99, but I used their 40% off one regular price item, and I used that off of on my phone. And all they do is just scan it right off of your phone. Okay, and I'm going to leave this tail a little bit longer because I kind of want to drape it and have it hang over here. So I'm just going to cut about right here. And yes, I'm going to have a little bit of this left over, but that's okay because I can use it on a tiny little arrangement. Something small. Maybe put it on a gift. Okay, and I'll worry about cutting the tails the way I want them in a minute. Okay, so now I'm just going to direct my tails downward. Separate these like so. And there you go. You got 6 loops instead of just 3. All right, now I'm going to tie it right on the garland, or you could hot glue it, but I'm going to go ahead and tie it onto there. Nice and tight onto the garland. Twist those ends and then push them and fold them downward. Here we go. Let me show you. There's the bow. And then all you have to do is make it nice and poofy and pretty. Because they're wire, you can direct things and bend it. Now don't make them, well, you can if you want. You don't have to make them all pretty and straight. I kind of like them to be a little scrunched up. You know, because it gives the ribbon character, okay? And it gives it movement and some flow. So that's what we want to do, is we don't want straight tails just hanging off, okay? If that's what you want, do it. Okay, now I'm just going to bring these tails together like that, and I'm going to pinch them together, or you could do them separately, but I'm going to pinch them together. One of these little pieces down here, twist it together, and then you could just separate them like that. See? And then another big loop over here, twist it with the pine, and then the tails will hang over here. And I'm going to cut them as well. Fold them in half from the wired edge up to the center fold. And I've got those little cuts here as well. again, I'm just going to scrunch them or bend them or whatever you want to call that. See? That looks really pretty. And I can still see that it says Farmer's Market on here. I don't want to cover that part off up, so I want to make sure that I can see that. I got some more berries. I'm going to keep filling it in. I've got these other little bits here, and I've got these other bigger pine cones, and I want to go ahead and fill it all up with all these little pieces. I think it'll look nice and full. Now I could stop right here because he does look really lovely just like that, but I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of these pieces. So let's keep on going. Now the Dollar Tree does have really pretty floral bushes, and they have little pine bushes, and some of them have little pine cones in them. So I do recommend that you use items from the Dollar Tree to decorate rather than using, you know, a higher priced item. There we go. Now some of you ask, you know, what would you sell that item for if you were selling it at a craft show? Let me tell you. Things at a craft show are always going to be more expensive than if you buy them at a retail store. Why? Because it is not mass produced like a lot of the items that are at a retail store. Some of you all probably know this. So if you're getting something at a craft show, you're probably getting either a one of a kind, or there's probably at the most maybe 10 of them that the seller has maybe created, because they'll have an assortment of things on their table. Now, things are priced according to what they spent, and a lot of times things are just tripled in price. So if you spend 10 bucks to do it, you triple it, then you sell it for 30 bucks. Okay, that's one price point. There's several other price points, but that's one that I've used, and I've also used the one where you take all your supplies minus your container. You take all the supplies, add them up, multiply them by 40%, add that 40%, and then add the price of your container. That's one way to price things. So if you had $20 worth of supplies, 40% of that would be what? Let me think. That would be that would be $8. So we're talking $28. Let's say your container was 10. You add 10, that's 38. You run it up to 40 bucks. That's what you would sell that for. Okay? If I did my math, that would be about it. Otherwise, maybe your math is better than mine. Okay. I'm going to continue adding these little bits in here. And yeah, if I was to sell this, I don't even remember what I said these things cost, but I can tell you that something like this with some items that I've purchased at, you know, Hobby Lobby, even though I got them at half off, they're not always going to be half off. So if I was to reproduce it, of course, it might cost me different the next time that I reproduce it. But if I'm going to take it at the price that I've paid for it, I'm just going to guesstimate. I'm not even going to add up right now. I'm just going to guesstimate by the look of my arrangement. This is easily a $100 arrangement or higher. Okay, that's all I'm going to say to that, because I can't think right now, but it would easily sell for that. Now, again, like I said, this is going to be a one of a kind. There's not going to be another one like it. Exactly, no. Not unless when I purchased the items, I got everything double or triple or whatever. That was a lot of rambling on. But some people are curious. So there you go. All right. I'm going to put this guy back here, just so that when you look at it from the side, you do see some stem and some berries when you look at it from the side. Okay. Where else do you see that it needs some berries? Let's look at it. Right about right here. I'm going to put it there. Why not? Okay, I've got some little more pieces. Got to put them in there. So let's fast forward all that. All right. There you go. He is done. Now, one extra thing that you could do to him, and it's, of course, this is completely optional on any of the projects, arrangements, especially floral decorated items such as this. You could either take some spray glitter, lightly spray him, or you could take some, some spray snow. This is a couple of bucks that I got from the Dollar General. I didn't really want to spray it in here because I want to get it all over everything, but I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do it downwards so that it all falls. I got a little fan over there. I'm afraid some of it's also going to shoot into my glasses. But we're going to do this. Just going to, from far away, just spray. And I'm going to get on this side now and do. That snow just kind of fell on him. There you go. Woohoo! There we go. And that is our arrangement. And I love him. I do. I love him very, very much. I hope you like him too. If you don't love him, I at least hope you like him. What do you think? Leave me a nice comment down below. Thank you all for all your lovely comments. They've inspired me to keep on going, and I'm going to keep on going. And I'm real happy doing this. It brings a lot of joy to me. It takes away a lot of stress. Even when somebody says you ramble too much. You know what? They said it was a nice video, except for the rambling. But then you know what? That's okay. At least you said something nice. And true. It was true. At least you're not making up something. Okay, just to be mean. All right. Anyway, like I said, hope you leave a nice comment down below. Give me a big old thumbs up. I'm going to give myself a big old thumbs up. I really like my arrangement. I think it looks beautiful. And subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you to everyone and all the new subscribers. I can't even say it. I was going to say subbers. But thank you to all the new subscribers. And please share your social medias. That does help me a lot to get some more people to view and see what they think about my ideas. And it also inspires me. If you'd like to see something special done in my videos, let me know in the comments below. This is going to be my last grand Christmas project for the year. Now, I did say I was going to do October, November, and that's exactly what I've done. We've got December coming up, and you know what? I wasn't going to do any more Christmas crafts, but I've got some little things that I want to show you, and I've got something up my sleeve, so I'll be surprising you December the 1st. And as always, enjoy!